Take whatever time you need to gather yourself, my friend. When you are ready, we can proceed.
Say that you know that the Lady Vengeance led Dallis to you on the Nameless Isle.
Yes, I am sorry. She had me built to her exact designs. Not even I know all the ways in which she can control me. She was able to follow my wake like a shark. But I will see myself destroyed rather than be forced to betray you again. I swear.
Okay, summon Melody.
It shall be done.
Melody's face is drawn. She seems tired, somewhat subdued. She looks you over and squints.
What's wrong with you? You seem happy.
Tell her you are. You feel better than you have in some time.
It's written all over you. In truth, I'm glad to see it. A joyful God is a just God. I've had some time to think, and there's a few matters I want to discuss before we carry on. I doubt you've forgotten the death of Meister Siva.
She swallows hard and closes her eyes for a moment, as though trying to dispel a dizzy spell.
She and I had a deal, you see. A deal that's now quite obviously defunct. According to its terms, I was to help you ascend to divinity, and she was to help me with another matter. The details aren't important now, it's just... never mind. Another entangling alliance. But I won't be able to disentangle it on my own. There may come a time when I need to count on you as an ally. So, are we? Allies, that is.
What entangling alliance is she referring to? I do have to say at this point I'm very inclined to return her favor. If we're the only reason we're alive is because of her.
The details are detailed. Suffice it to say that Meister Siva believed she could help me. And I believe you're twice the sorcerer she ever was. So?
Yeah. Tell her her problems are your problems from here on out. That doesn't mean that I'll do anything she asks, but it would have to be pretty drastic for me to refuse at this point.
That's something I don't often hear. Thank you. Really. Moving on. I found out where Dallas is heading. There's a great city not far from Driftwood, Arx by name. It's controlled by Magisters, so you'll have your work cut out for you. We have to find out what she's planning to do with the powers of the Seven. You'll need to find her and take back what she stole, and quickly, before she does something irreversible. Dallas, or any of the others for that matter, cannot be allowed to use the powers of the gods. She doesn't understand what must be done. She doesn't understand how to rule.
How to rule? Ask Melody to elaborate.
It's quite simple, really. Chaos is a fact of life, surer than any other. Power is one of the few structures that can cut a line through that chaos. If wielded well, that line will mean stability, order, a comfort against the unknowable, changing forces of chaos. If wielded poorly, the line will mean domination, terror, different from chaos, but no better. Dallas, and the others like her, Alexander, the Mother Tree, the Prince of Shadows, they are little better than demons, really. They seek power at the expense of others, not to create stability, but to create servants. Look at my face, Godwoken. What do you see?
You see her, Melody, no more no less.
I suppose we all see what we want to see. When I look in the mirror, I see balance. Balance between darkness and light, between good and evil. Whatever those categories mean. When the time comes for you to ascend, remember my face. Remember that despite any shortcomings you might have, if you can bring a semblance of balance to the world, you'll have done as good as the Seven did. And if you can be stronger than them, you'll do all the better. The Seven are gone, slain by their God-woken, slain by you. You have the potential, the obligation even, to do better than they did, to create a better world than the world they made.
Say you're surprised to hear her talk like this. She seems passionate about the state of the world.
I know what evil is, Godwoken. I've seen what chaos can do. It isn't how I picture Rivellon's future. You are my insurance against that. Now, there's little time to spare. We need to get you to Arx, find Dallas, take back what she stole. Shall we go?
To Arx.
Very good. How lucky for you I'm on your side. I'm probably the only one masterful enough to transport an entire ship safely between the land of the dead and the land of the living. Captain Malady stands at the ready.
After the briefest moment of respite, Malady brought the Godwoken to Arx to recover the divine powers Dallas had snatched away. But the half-demon secret was taking its toll on her.
Lucian! Fools! The bastard's going to ruin everything! Brace! Brace! Brace!
Shipwrecked. Surely we'll get shipwrecked at least. Well, this would be a second time. But it's a tradition, fine tradition. You can't go on a ship unless you get shipwrecked. Although at this point, what does it mean? It's not like we're gonna need another ship. Depends where we are. Ah, loading Arx. So at least we arrived where we wanted to.
Don't say anything.
Malady groans, her face twisting in pain. She falls to one knee, catching herself on her hands.
Reach over to help her up.
She raises one hand and raises herself to her feet.
Now, no need to fuss, I'll be fine. It's just that traveling between the realms isn't easy, you know? It takes something from my soul each time. But never you fear, I've pulled a clever trick out of my sleeve. The Lady Vengeance stands in two realms at once. A body here, a soul in the Hall of Echoes. You can still return at your leisure. At least I got us where we wanted to go. This is Arx. This is where Dallas has fled with the powers of the gods. This is where the path to divinity leads.
Take in the scenery around you. Ask her what comes next.
Dallas must be stopped. She has stolen the powers of the Seven. You'll need to get the Aetherin back if you're to fight the God King. You'll need it if you're to ascend.
Actually, I don't, do I? I need the item that can be used once to kill anything. But only once.
Track her in Arx. Find out where she's gone and end her. Take back the Aetherin and the powers of the gods with it. Before you go, Losa, perhaps you sense it already, but this is where he lives. Your demon, a drama leak. You must be exceedingly careful. He'll be waiting for you. But we have his name. There may be something we can do to hinder him before you even meet. I'll do some investigating while you're busy hunting Dallas. If my suspicions are right, we may still stand a chance. Good luck, and do not fail. I'm growing soft, aren't I?
Right, everyone's leveled up. Or gained a level up, rather.
Pray speak.
Ask him where he will look for Sada in Arx.
The Sallow Man's mirror was rather obscure, but I have my suspicions. There's an ancient Empire consulate in the city, you see. By far and away the only place with the appropriate decor and decorum to host a princess.
Ask him if he's thought about the prospect of Divinity.
Rather hard not to think of Divinity, wouldn't you say, once it's become a promise? I've always known I was destined for greatness. To be God-woken, though, that I did not quite see coming. Did you?
Laugh and say you were too busy being possessed to think about becoming a god conduit.
Conduit? Is that what you think you'll be? Not so much a divine as a puppet of Divinity? Interesting. But of course that doesn't quite answer your original question. I have thought about the prospect of Divinity, yes, and about what Divinity really means. When one strips away from the term all the pomp, all the piety, all the manifold associations it calls to mind, one is left with a single word: power. The true meaning of Divinity is power, and as it so happens, power means a great deal to me. The only thing you have to ask yourself is, does it mean anything to you?
Not really that much, but at the same time the current situation is intolerable, it has to be changed. Ask him what he thinks will happen to the House of Shadows now that the Shadow Prince is dead.
If this man was to be believed, he was the House of Shadows, which implies said institution exists no longer. I am not of the opinion, however, that this man was to be believed. Was he prince? Maybe. Did he truly work for the good of our empire? Perhaps. He could have been no more than a lowborn, with a taste for drama and deceit. He could be one shadow prince in a legion of thousands. All that matters is, he's dead. No longer can he stand in my way, or pose a threat to Sadha. Which quite calls for a celebratory round of drinks, as far as I'm concerned.
Okay, ask what he makes of what happened at the Well of Ascension.
A battle lost. A war begun. Dallas and that pet of hers are a force to be reckoned with. There is more to them than meets the eye. But what truly makes me pause is the fate of the Seven. How pitiful they were at the end. Think on it. Gods reduced to snarling beasts. So starved of source, it made them rabid. Think on it, because that is what we're fighting for. To be a god, knowing what a god really is.
What next?
The powers of the Seven lie hidden in this city. So by all means, let's play hide and seek with Divinity itself. Of course, Sadha continues to play hide and seek as well. More than anything, I long to find her.
Well, looks like we're celebrating Lucian's Day with a shipwreck. Rest in pieces, my lady.
Delbis, you are grateful for his loyalty at the Academy, even if things didn't go entirely as planned.
I didn't need to show any more to you than you've shown to me. Besides, the Order needs someone to lead them for the long haul. I don't need Divinity to do what's right for my people. In case you hadn't noticed, a divine is a lot of things, but they're sure no free. And honestly, what kind of man would I be if I abandoned divinity once I got what I wanted?
Approach him about the notes you found, the ones in the Sallow Man's office.
Damn it. Damn it, Justinia. What the hell happened to you? The Black Ring's pulling her strings. I should have figured. I've got to say, I'd rather she was just straight up cruel than simply too weak to resist an evil as flippin' obvious as the Black Ring. How could you be so stupid, Justinia? How could I? Gods damn it all. That Isabel. She will pay.
What comes next?
It ain't over till the Hammer Lady sings. I'm pretty sure I heard someone say that once. There's also another lady on my mind, of course. Justinia. A reckoning's coming for her. And his name is Beast. So much for sounding cool. I've never been very good at coming up with a snappy catchphrase on the spot. Why don't you give it a try?
She'll soon be of no use to man or beast. Time she gets to know the true nature of the beast. The day has finally come. The beast will shed his burden. You are not taking part in this inane game of his, no. Let's go with time she gets to know the true nature of the beast.
Now I wish I hadn't asked.
Beast's slight smirk and slow wink tell you he meant his words in jest. Given all that's transpired, you find his jocularity comforting.
Yes?
Ask Sabine if she ever thought she'd be responsible for killing a god.
To be perfectly frank, yes. I only have to do what comes natural to me. Besides, these 7 weren't exactly angels. Even gods get their comeuppance. We stand warned, don't we?
Say you'd like to talk to her about the two of you.
By all means.
Say it's about earlier, the night of nights, so to speak.
Oh my. Someone in need of a lick and cuddle.
Her face is straight, but her eyes dance with mirth.
Smile and take her in your arms. Tell her you love her.
I don't think I can ever tire of hearing that.
She steps close to you and places a long hand on your cheek. Her great cat-like eyes peer into yours. She kisses you, biting your lower lip as she pulls away.
Don't think I haven't even nibbled you yet.
Okay, wonder how she feels about your journey together.
Like I want to keep exploring. Again. And again. And again. How about you?
Say you think the two of you make a fine team.
We've certainly made a splash, haven't we? Let no one say otherwise. Let's carry on. See how many history books we can make it into. We may even make it into Cranley Hubert's.
Okay, what next?
Last I heard, godhood awaits. If only we can wrest it from Dallas. First, we find her. Then, we roll for the greatest fate of them all.
Fair enough. This could be, very important level up. There's a good chance we are not gonna get another talent or a civil ability point. So make them count. Persuasion is maxed out, gotta take something else. Bartering seems worthless, so it does everything else. I might as well take
These
bartering.
Godwoken are going to be the death of me.
Gotta be thievery. Might not have that much use for it, but what do we have use for? You are taking Lore Master and definitely want that to 5. Telekinesis 6. This we don't particularly have a use for this, but at the same time, what else am I gonna take? Maybe there's a use for it later. It makes looting a little bit more convenient. Final talent points.
I'm growing soft, aren't I?
Anything to create damage would be nice. Maybe it's important. I think it's important to note that we don't really need the all skilled up ability at all if we just want a single skill fully developed. It only becomes relevant if we want to try to develop two, and even then we couldn't develop them fully. Maybe like 3-3 split.
Don't have many more of those.
But otherwise it doesn't really make much sense. You do get an extra combat ability point too, though, and it would help early on, definitely. Plus 2 attribute points. That's not much, but I mean, if you don't have anything else, might as well take it.
I'm growing soft, aren't I?
While you're at maximum vitality, so shields up, you grants you extra 10% critical chance and 10% more accuracy. I think this is better than I initially thought. Early on, when you almost always take vitality damage, this is pretty worthless. But later on, not only does your armor actually block most of the stuff, you have a decent amount of it, and you can use a single point to drink a potion and restore vitality to max. So the 10% extra critical chance, it's like 10 points of extra wits. So it makes a big difference. If you like to have a build where you could do critical hits on regular hits fairly reliably. The problem with these is you only land critical hits on basic attacks and weapon skills, but you can't translate it to spell casting. So if you would like to do criticals through spell casting or other things, you'd have to build it totally differently. You more or less would get mobility skills, things like that. Maybe some of the more interesting challenge skills, but that's something you can get from everything. I suppose I think the real problem comes from attributes. You don't have attributes to spend on everything, you have to pick a focus. Skill wise you could make it work. Heals you when you're standing in blood, that's catastrophic in certain situations. I don't think we need more memory on this guy. Beast and low save might, but not the Red Prince. Nor Spiel.
I'm growing soft, aren't I?
Increases your recovery and maximum action points when your health is below 50%. Okay. I'm assuming it means vitality.
I'm growing soft, aren't I?
Health was just a rephrase from the first game, so they basically copy-pasted the description. I don't care for any of these, they don't really increase my damage, so we might as well either take combat skill point or 2 attribute points. Which would we want? Bigger and better. 10% extra physical damage. We take 1 extra warfare points, that's 5% more physical damage. Yeah, I don't see what else we would take. So I'll take the attribute points.
These Godwoken are going to be the death of me.
Two-handed is better. Extra damage, extra critical multiplier. At the same time, this was multiplicative damage-wise.
I'm growing soft, aren't I?
Yeah, damage from weapon is multiplicative and warfare. No, the elemental damage is multiplicative, and so is the physical bonus from warfare. I suppose I'll take warfare. $700.
These Godwoken
From
are going to be the
Geomancer,
death of
right?
me.
That's from skills. Those are multiplicative. Strength. About 50 points extra damage from strength again.
I'm growing soft, aren't I?
1500 damage from a regular critical hit. 1400 to 1500. With this, about 450 per strike times 5. And that's with a level 17 weapon. We can get a higher level weapon, naturally that's gonna be better. And this isn't a particularly good weapon either.
These Godwoken are
Just
going
has
to
the
be the
power
death of
rune.
me.
Sabile next, mainly because we have a fairly good idea of how we want to develop these. Bleeding and atrophy. We want to definitely these abilities to strike through armor, which they do. Atrophy I don't think strikes through. Right, suffocating wood though. Reduces the cost of using grenades and scrolls by 1 action point when your offhand is free. That will never be the case. Parrymaster, 10% dodging while dual wielding. This could be useful. I mean, it's not like we have a great abilities to take anyway. It would give her a lot of survivability because you can dodge physical and magical attacks. And she has the weakest defenses overall, so extra 10% dodging, yeah, that's a big deal. 1 in 3 hits will just miss, and I can get this higher.
Many more of those on my sleeve.
More dodging, more damage. Critical multiplier, movement speed. I think I'll take the dual wielding, dodging and damage. 30% dodging. Thunder rune is dodging. So we could add a thunder rune here instead of something else.
I have many more of those on my sleeve.
I need to see. See the runes. Who the hell has them? Damage. Yeah, it has to be an amulet, and it's 6%. I'll keep the accuracy. In armor, it's just air
I'm
resistance.
growing soft, aren't I?
Right, wits. Finesse. And you, what to do with you? Executioner wouldn't be bad. It's pretty good for everyone, really.
Don't have many more of those on my sleeve.
3 action points. Far Out Man. Range of skills and scrolls increased by 2 meters. That's not a huge amount, but you could attack outside their range. I think it might be good if you consider the elevation differences, because that would probably multiply the
Many more of
difference
those on my
drastically.
sleeve.
Something to consider. Maybe 3 extra memory slots wouldn't be horrible for him. I mean, he has a lot of abilities, and he does not have all the memory slots.
These Godwoken are going to be the death of me.
That's an option. I'm not sure if that's a horrible option either. At the same time, I'm fairly sure we can do without it. Executioner might be just
Growing
as good.
soft, aren't I?
But we don't use him in that manner. He's almost always doing a little bit of damage or supporting others. Lose is the only
Don't have
attacking
many more of
caster,
those on my
really.
sleeve.
I'll take the mnemonic. Definitely bumping up leadership. %, dodging, 18% to all resistances. Probably should have I've already taken skilled up, right? So I could not have taken that.
Don't have many more of those on my sleeve.
We can cast the basic spells fairly well.
Don't have many more of those on my sleeve.
Hydrosophist is still a bit of a problem. Definitely putting everything in intelligence, although it's 10% extra damage. Is it really gonna make that much of a difference? I mean, I have 4 extra slots now, but I still have a lot of abilities I'd like to take. Especially some of the better ones. Some things that cost a single point. I'm most never using Chain Lightning, but it's fairly cheap. Well, Surrogate would be more devastating. More expensive too. I want overpower. If your physical armor is higher than your opponent's, destroy all of their physical armor. And this is a guy who has a lot of physical armor. You wouldn't want to use this outside boss fights now. So I'm not sure if I should put it there.
Don't have many more of those on my sleeve.
Cleanse wounds. Remove burning, disease, decaying, poison tree. Guardian Angel.
Oh.
I'm sort of want to take the tornado as a standard issue spell at this point. It's very, very convenient. Right.
These Godwoken are going to be the death of me.
Not sure I want more memory. I mean, we have plenty at this point, so... Intelligence? Maybe initiative. Am I sure I don't want any extra spells? I sort of do though. Especially the Guardian Angel. Ah, for fuck's sakes. Just take memory then. Take all the memory.
Godwoken are going to be the death of me.
Anything I don't usually use. Guardian Angel.
I'm growing soft, aren't I?
Maybe more electricity damage. Speed increase. We are mostly moving through teleportation, so that means nothing. Some cheap electricity attack, that's range. Right.
Don't have many more of those on my sleeve.
And you.
These Godwoken are going
Maybe
to be the
far
death
out
of
man.
me.
The 2 extra meters of range. It would apply to a lot of spells. It makes things more convenient for us, basically. Alternatively, more memory. Although I'm fairly satisfied with our options, I do not want to cast everything I could technically cast. I'm okay in switching things up as necessary too. So, far out man.
These Godwoken are going to be the death of me.
Especially in these area of effect, abilities should show quite well. So, I think the range was... What is the original range? Not saved anywhere. Yeah, it's went from 13 to 15. So, from there to there. Gotta be Hydrosophist, I use this all constantly. So,
I'm growing soft,
more damage,
aren't I?
more vitality healed, more magic armor restored. Gotta be intellect. Do I want extra slots here? I could get another
Don't have
somewhat
many more of
useful
those on my
ability.
sleeve.
Conjure an inner demon. Provides 1000 magic armor, grants you power to terrify, and protects yourself from protect yourself with demonic fists, whatever that means. Alternatively, one of the
These
big
Godwoken are going
attacks.
to be the death of me.
Really, I'm not missing much. I don't really care about most of these either.
I'm growing soft, aren't I?
Ah, new ability for you. damage boost.
Oh.
I don't see that being a good idea. I really don't. Well, I simply do not have abilities I could use. I should be able to learn more though, so it's basically just me being lazy and not learning things. In that vein, learn it now.
I'm growing soft, aren't I?
I'm sure I have the spells, I just haven't bothered clicking on them. These are empty. Right, we need earth something. Warfare? Well, we know all these.
Don't have many more of those on my sleeve.
Suppose taking some things better than taking nothing. Except I can't. Ugh. That's no good. Shackles of Pain might be useful, because damage transferred in this way ignores any resistances the target may have. So, if we can expect a lot of damage coming our way, we can certainly punish them back. But I'll take the bone cage for now. It's the amount of damage, I mean the amount of physical armor it restores is pitiful. I do something offensive. Another fire spell is possible. Curse the target to explode after one turn or on death. That's not particularly useful. Flaming tongues protect you, immediately attacking approaching enemies. How about a simple fireball? Although it's a bad combination with that. Jesus fuck, just pick something. I'll take the shackles. I'd like the mobility. I gave it up for a while. I have missed it in a few fights already. Alternatively, 5-stab combination attack. $300 points physical to every enemy around you. 8-meter range. Can backstab. Mortal blow. Target is killed instantly below 20% vitality.
These Godwoken are going to be the death
Just
of
does
me.
not make much sense. I'll take the extra mobility. Doesn't make sense because almost every enemy with 20% health can be just killed outright anyway, so who the hell cares?
Gareth massages his forehead and grunts.
Ugh. Why does everything have to go to absolute shite? Glad to see you're still kicking at least. Though I should warn you, Arx kicks back.
Gareth scans the wreckage and whistles. The Lady Vengeance is well and truly ruined.
Ask if Gareth is doing alright.
He stretches an arm in front of him and takes inventory of every scrape, cut and bruise.
As good as I'm gonna get. Godwoken, it may be Lucian's day, but Arx will give you little cause to celebrate. I must stay here, but I can give you this. Through it, Lucian may still protect you.
Say you'd like to know more about the city of Arx.
It's a city at a crossroads. Volumes could be written about a single conflict. Yet Arx endures an infinitude at once. It's from Arx that the Divine Order operates, so to speak, though you'll find its operations are as scattered as dandelion seeds in a cyclone.
With both factions at odds, sorcery is not a pervading concern. Do not, however, assume that every paladin offers safe haven. The enemy of your enemy is not always a friend. Were I wearing your boots, I'd seek out Ahu, the Lord Protector, and the Keeper of Lucian's Crypt. He is a wise one, and may offer you help.
Press Gareth for more information on Ahu.
Ahu is Lucian's greatest asset. A great wizard, and clever as a cat. He protects Lucian's remains deep within the Ark's cathedral, and I can think of no one better suited for it. He's a man of many talents, not the least of which is knowing. Ahu spots details that elude even the savviest of spies. If the hammer has fallen in Arx, he'll have taken notice.
What do you intend to do now?
I'll do what I do best. Hold things together. Those that remain still need a chief, so I'll attend to whatever needs attending to. I have no more surprises up my sleeve. I dare say you've had enough.
Level 4 pieces of crap. I guess they sort of hold on to certain type of items you sell them. You could use another ability.
These
Earth
God
or
Woken are going to be the death of me.
fighter doesn't particularly matter to me. It has to be a low level. We don't have a huge amount of living wall. Lines sprout from ground to block the path until in a target area, emitting poison clouds
Many
around.
more of those on my sleeve.
I don't recall seeing this before. At the same time, I don't recall really paying attention in a long time. I don't care for these. If it would be a fighter ability, all the better. I think they're all defensive ones though, so they're not really useful. That's the reason I don't have them.
Oh,
Right, so it has to be an earth ability.
I'm growing soft, aren't I?
Siphon poison. Remove poison surfaces in clouds. Gain poison damage bonus to weapon attacks and weapon-based skills. Basically, if we get dump poison on us, we can use it to drain it. But what does this
Many
mean?
more of those on
Remove
my
poison
sleeve.
surface in clouds. Am I sucking them up? Healing? I'm not healing. So what exactly happens to them? The living wall doesn't sound bad. I'd rather take the
growing
siphon poison
soft,
though,
aren't I?
simply because it costs a single action point. So I might be able to actually cast it in a situation. Usually I would want to spend most of my action points on something completely different.
Gareth grasps your shoulder as you turn to go.
You've done much for me. It's a miracle I even stand here now, frankly. You've got more miracles in you, Losa. With you, what was impossible seems possible again.
I'm growing soft, aren't I?
Oh, you learned that. Well, didn't want to do it, but whatever. Still, she
These God
should have the
Woken
other
are going
book.
to be the death of
There
me.
we go. You get an attack bonus out of it, so it technically might be able to be used offensively. Where are we? Hard to say how big of an area this is.
Don't have many more of those on my sleeve.
My biggest worry is that we were basically sort of clueless about certain type of crafting entirely still. What to do with a lot of the essences, for example. We have some scroll recipes, but they're all pathetic. There's nothing high level that the game teaches you, so that's something that you probably have to just figure out on your own. And I'm not figuring that shit out now.
Not the finest of landings, though I suppose our dear vessel did well enough, given it's not exactly in its natural habitat. At least I can still access all of my tools in the Hall of Echoes. I wouldn't relish the prospect of scouring through all this wreckage to find what I need.
What he'll do now?
Why work, of course. Anathema won't restore itself, I dare say. I shall finish what I started, aboard whatever remains of the Lady Vengeance in the Hall of Echoes.
Are you actually doing something? Something that might end while we're still playing the game. Blessed water surface. We could negate cursed surfaces with that, I think. Yeah, I'm not too interested in looking at the gear at the moment. We have wasted a lot of time on this already. But Rune Frame of Power sounds nice. Giant Venom Rune. Not bad, but I'll buy one. Actually, I won't buy any one. We have some
Come
equipment.
and find me later in the Hall of Echoes. I believe I'm rather close to having Anathema in working order.
Hint hint. Yeah. I definitely picked up loot that I didn't have time to identify. It's probably all on red prints.
I'm growing soft, aren't I?
No, it's not. It's not all on red prints, definitely no. This is a finesse armor. It is of better quality than our Sallow chainmail. It does not have a rune slot. And it sucks ass, so never gonna use it. Shield. Looks good. It is a better shield. Constitution, initiative. We would lose leadership and some resistances. But it's a good shield, and we get a lot from having a good shield, so we will do about 500 points of physical damage thanks to the shield. And our physical armor value is absolutely critical if we want to use the ability to... Ability to destroy enemy armor fully. This is not a good exchange. We would get 10% blocking chance, but we would lose 4 points of initiative. That is not good. Yeah, there should be others.
I'm growing soft, aren't I?
Scoundrel Geomancer Summoning. I don't see why anyone would use that.
The final voyage of the Lady Vengeance. She served us well.
Yes, in Death Fog now. A lot of animals.
The big acorn has come! The prophecy has been fulfilled! Did you feel its power as it fell from the sky?
Did you hear? The big acorn has come, and it's chosen our forest. We are the chosen ones. wash away our enemies in one big blood wave! All hail the acorn!
Okay. All hail the acorn. Wooden figure.
There, in the harbour, the Kraken.
If it keeps showing up uninvited, it'll never make friends.
Great, yeah.
Lucian the Divine, standing guard over Arx. He's been slacking off by the look of things.
I don't want to bother taking crafting items anymore because I'm not using them.
More two legs. Why must you crowd our woods? Go be with your own kind.
The penny bun mushrooms might be an exception. We can make healing potions out of them.
Death fog below.
You see the crash? The ship? Are they void woken?
They were on board the ship and there were no voidwoken involved.
Thank the gods. There are void woken within the city. I fear they are outside it too. But it seems Lucian's spirit watches over us. We are spared. For now, do as we do. Stay far away from Arx until the trouble's clear.
Nope. So listen. Something hostile there. Volatile voidlings level 20. They're still voidlings, so I'm not exactly too afraid of them. They're the worst type of voidling. Or rather, the easiest, I would say. They're the worst voidling.
Careful now, that's a trap.
Potato. What is that? That is a hermit's hideaway. Well, can't really argue about that. Seems like a good hideaway. Quite a lot of them here. Yeah, level 20 Necro Wing Voidwalken. Level 20 Necro Wing Voidwalken. Loic the Immaculate. Why does that sound familiar? An undead. We killed him at some point. Wait. Awakened construct. I think we're going to wait. Where are we? Yes. Because they have a long way to come at us, so if they don't want to come, I'm not sure why we would want to bother either. Can do some damage to them. I have the range benefit. Might as well take advantage of it. I'll lure them a little bit closer. Want to focus on a single thing at a time if we can help it. They'll kill the summoned creature first, very likely. They're using a lot of fire. They're immune to fire. First casualties. The Necrofire does immense amount of damage at this point. Just crazy. I'm not all sure we should try to even go to melee range. Fire weakness. Poison weakness. Okay. Not expect that. This is gonna hurt. Yep. The Red Prince is dead. The volatile voidlings are too destructive when they pop. I was sort of wondering if that's gonna be the case. So I have no one but myself to blame. Energy, magical armor is the only thing that matters in that fight. We need to kill as many of them as possible, as far away as possible. We need to give them a lot of targets to attack. They're 2 levels above me at least. Or is it 3? 2. Can I just rain water on them? I want to create as much water as possible. I can electrify it too. That in mind, I could probably start the electrifying attack. Stun, stun, stun. 3 voidlings stun. Loik the Immaculate. Necrofire. Ooh, did he spread the death fog? Yes, he did. Yes, you did. That's a big potential problem, isn't it? I think I am in the death fog already with some of our guys. I think if we at least move even a fraction, we are fucking dead. Can I move the terrain away from here? I mean, that would be great. I can breathe a little bit easier now. I can't really send anyone there. I have long range attacks, not with her. Right, I might be able to throw something there though. We just need to ignite something, kill something, then it will cause a chain reaction. Air damage seems to work. Ooh, grenades. Let's go with a cluster grenade. I want to get that son of a bitch too. No. Mainly we want to aim at killing someone. They'll detonate to weaken the others. That should work to our advantage the most. Yeah, he didn't give a shit because he is immune to this. Water and earth would work, as long as it's not poison. Immune to frozen. Shit. Well, you can't go there either. Anything else I could reasonably do? Don't... maybe some poison? Nope. Unless I can get rid of the volatile ones, I'm pretty much boned no matter what happens. If they get close enough, I'll just have to throw them away. I can't kill them so close. Also, Loik the Immaculate. Yeah. You're dead. It's the death fog that's the big problem there. I don't think I want to fight this fight. Not now. I need to get rid of the volatile voidlings quickly. More importantly, I need to protect myself from getting dragged into the death fog. Not sure how I could do that. I can protect few individuals through fortifying them. They can't be teleported around that way. There's no way I can protect everyone. So I need a proper idea of what to do here. A dead end though. We'll be back. Also, why does the name Loic sound so familiar to me? I'm certain I've met him somewhere. I do have enough scrolls to protect myself from being dragged through teleportation. Well, it's not like I can't do it, but it's not gonna be a simple thing.
Do you see anything? I come for prayer and penitence. Instead, I find waste.
What a cursed Lucian's day this is.
Do you see anything?
Only fog.
Do you see anything?
Pilgrims. Probably here for Lucian's Day.
Probably.
It's a dangerous path ahead, friend.
Pilgrim camp.
Let's stock up.
No, I came all the way from Driftwood, but I never expected to get stuck like this.
Excuse me, have you word from the city? I heard the paladins inside have overthrown the Magisters. How can that be? And if it is, who's in charge of Fort Joy?
Why is she concerned about Fort Joy?
My brother's just been sent there. I don't understand it. There's a prison here in Arx. Why send him so far away? I just need to plead his case. To Dallas herself, if I'm able. Or to whoever's in charge now. He's a sweet lad. He doesn't belong there. But I'll sort it out, that's for certain.
Ask why the Paladins and Magisters are fighting. Aren't they both part of the Divine Order?
I don't know. Maybe the Paladins have finally had enough of this clampdown. The Magisters will just go and lock up anybody. That wasn't Lucian's way, was it?
I don't know. I wasn't here.
Another card? Hopefully Lucian... Goods for sale here.
Jahan is here, excellent.
Lucian will preserve you. I must have breathed in some of that death fog. Oh, my lungs ache, and I can't see straight.
You come to the city, I suppose. Like the rest of us. Whatever your purpose in Arx, you may be disappointed. I want to visit Lucian's shrine to find answers. But perhaps it is a fool's errand.
Perhaps. Ask why she has not already entered the city.
Word comes that access is forbidden.
Ask what's going on in Arx that they aren't allowed entry.
There is fighting. I hear Magisters in white fighting the Paladins. And I hear a Voidwoken.
Okay, tell her the Divine is dead, so which answers does she expect to find in Arx?
I do not expect to hear his voice. But I meditate. I look upon his disciples. I take in his resting place. Perhaps the answers come. Peace, too. And perhaps not. This is the chance I take.
Lucian will preserve you.
You're all right, stranger. I heard a huge crash in the mountains earlier. Maybe thunder, maybe Voidwoken. Don't go wandering alone now. There's no telling what you'll find.
Ask what brought her to Arx.
Lucian's Day. Got a few prayers of my own that need answering. But these days, who don't?
Lizard Trader, Jahan.
Hopefully Lucian will grant me his blessing.
Keep strong.
Ah, hello. Please, if you're in need of supplies, now's the time to stock up.
There's no telling where you'll find another trader, such as things are. You'll have to forgive my limited stock. The incident in the harbor was... well, I was lucky to escape with my life, much less anything to sell.
Ask her what happened.
Voidwoken. I was taking inventory of the stock I brought to sell in Arx when the harbor was suddenly overrun. It was horrible. Though I did see one little girl, all by herself just beyond the harbor. Poor thing. She was too far off for me to help. She's surely dead by now. I hope it was swift, at least.
Ask about the little girl she saw. What did she look like?
She was human. Light skin and fair hair, with a blue flower tucked behind one ear. But her eyes... I didn't know humans could have such dark eyes. They seemed almost pure black. A trick of the light, perhaps. And it wasn't the time to linger for another look. A pleasure doing business.
Breaches of the Faithful. Mage's pants, basically. I'm inclined to change. The current leggings don't provide anything mandatory. This provides intelligence, constitution, hydrosophist, and movement. So yeah.
Lucian will preserve you.
Maybe buy some potions. Yeah, these type of immunity potions, please.
Another card?
Physical armor restoration probably wouldn't hurt.
Me too.
50% dodging wouldn't hurt. I mean, we don't need a huge amount of this, but just something. Reflect 20% melee damage as air damage. Inflict stunned on contact. Potion of jellyfish skin.
Me too.
Fire resistance. 11 intelligence. Large-sized potion smells faintly of old books and is capable of boosting your intelligence. Intelligence 11 is a massive amount. That's like 50% extra damage from spells.
Me too.
That can't be right. Do I have anything to sell? Maybe a couple of items.
Another card?
I feel awful.
No, I'm holding.
Hopefully Lucian will grant me...
I don't mind paying money for this though.
Keep strong. Lucian will
I mean, what the hell do I have a use for money anyway after this?
Another card?
No, I'm holding.
Me too.
Okay, where are my
It's
pants?
a dangerous path ahead, friends. Best to stock up.
Lucian will grant me his blessing.
Keep strong. Lucian will preserve you.
Jehan strokes his chin as he surveys the pilgrim camp. He notices you approach, turns, and smiles his stern smile.
A bit of a choppy re-entry, wasn't it? Sorry I couldn't be there to greet you, but time is limited. The doctor will know of the crash soon enough. I need to learn as much as I can, as quickly as I can.
He swings a backpack over his shoulder. It's filled to the brim with potions, grenades, and magical charms.
Sadly, these pilgrims have no useful news. So, off to the city I go. Time to rid it of its demon.
Take him by the hand and wish him the best of luck.
Thank you, Losa. I know this is your battle above all. But if I'm successful, you'll be free to claim your divinity, should you choose to. So, let me rid you of the darkness and leave you with a decision greater than us all. The divinity or humanity of your soul.
A firm handshake, and he's off.
What do you sell? Do I want it? It's okay.
Another card?
No, I'm holding.
Having restoration scrolls wouldn't be a horrible thing.
Me too.
Having fireball scrolls wouldn't be a horrible thing. Level 18 clubbing time.
I feel awful. Hopefully Lucian will grant me his blessing.
Ah, mostly one-handed
It's a
crap
dangerous
though.
path ahead, friends. Best to stock up.
Another card?
No, I'm holding.
Demolishers. Terrible gauntlets. Plus 5 wits though. That's not something trivial. It's in initiative mainly.
I feel awful.
Yeah, physical armor massively improved. Problem is, again, it's in the wrong area. I know I can't forever keep dodging that thing, that it's always the wrong bonuses, but it sort of is a big problem. Oh, it is a great armor increase for him though. And that's worth it, definitely. Because, again, he needs the high armor rating for his ability to strip enemies that have less armor of all of their armor. So if I can't push his armor up, it's all for nothing.
So the hunt commences once more. May the seven be on our side.
No, I'm holding.
Me too.
It's
Hopefully Lucian will grant me his blessing.
initiative went up quite a bit.
It's a dangerous path ahead, friends. Best to stock up.
Another card?
No, I'm holding.
Me too.
Right, then we can sell those, unless you want them. Nope. Anyone else?
I can't believe that I made it all the way here just to get locked out of Arx. Never missed a Lucian's day in my life. Until now. You'll see why I'm sore. If you get to hear the endless prayer at the cathedral.
A prayer note. Blessed Lucian, help me find true love.
Oh, Lucian, please return.
Hopefully Lucian will grant me his blessing. Me too.
The woman's upper lip twitches, and her chest heaves with each God-fearing utterance to the heavens.
Lucian, I pray thee absolve my sins and find me worthy. The time of reckoning is upon us. The hall awaits only the chosen. May the death fog cleanse me as it cleanses the land and waters.
She shoots you a frenzied glance.
He has told me his plan. Lucian will not wash our sins away with water or fire, but with death fog. The true faithful will bathe in the fog of their own accord, and he will reward them with eternal bliss.
You're crazy, lady.
It spreads even now, just below. I am ready to prove my loyalty.
She trails off, and her eyes flit upwards, as if listening to a voice only she can hear.
Lucian?
Very basic type of stuff.
Ah, the Red Prince at last. A moment of your time. The Red Prince himself. What an honor. I was told you might come through, but I hardly expected to see your royalness with my own eyes.
He follows up his greeting with an insincere smile and an upraised eyebrow.
Ask for his name, house, and intentions.
He sidles in uncomfortably close and whispers.
My name is unnecessary, and my house is cloaked in shadow. My intention, why, dear prince, it is no more or less than to find the Red Princess Sadha herself. You're familiar with her, I presume, huh?
The lizard pulls away, and you're left with the uncomfortable memory of his hot breath against your scales.
Okay, anything else? Looks like this is basically a pilgrim camp with nothing of real interest. Hermit's hideaway.
Inside the city gates. Get what you need or you'll regret it.
So go to the harbor. What are the other areas? Ooh, there's areas after areas after areas. I think we should push toward the harbor. See what happens. I sort of want to go real bad to fight the fight again and again until until we win. However, the death fog has me question the sensibility of that. I know I can do it. That's not the problem. The problem is it's gonna take a lot of attempts. And there might be... I'd like a reason to go there. Why is it there? And I feel because it's level 20, the reason might come if I just play the other areas a little bit. But for a guy who just arrived here, the first instinct should not be to try to fight level 20 opponents. By the time we are ourselves level 20, our equipment is massively better, we'll do more damage, and we know if we have other tools at our disposal. I'm thinking there might be a way to get rid of the death fog in limited areas. Sabeel can move it a little bit, but that won't matter. The teleportation will allow him to throw us into the fog. And that's the first thing he tried. He did some kind of attack that either spread the fog or something like that. Or it creates the fog. Either way it's very dangerous. So I'm not sure how should I fight that. Maybe initiate the combat and retreat far away from fog as possible. Something along those lines might work. Certain type of surfaces can be created in a way that it doesn't disappear after a time, so we could basically ignite it later or do something similar when they arrive in it. So we have options.
Black rabbits are stupid. They're jumping into the fog to impress the does, but I've yet to see any of them come back.
Yeah, that would be them. Yeah, I have time to clean up the harbor, but we might as well see what's going on there. Maybe get an initial taste. Little girl with black eyes is the main suspect here. That's the culprit. Sorcerer of some sort.
Something very bad has happened in the harbor.
No shit.
Travel, they said. See all the wonders of the world, they said.
We shall be victorious.
They're devouring the dwarves. Abyssal Void Flare. Abyssal Void Devourer. Let's not start shooting yet. They're not hostile to us at this second. They might have a leader. That's a kraken. Level 20. 5,000 armor, 4,000 shield, 10,000 health. Air vulnerability. That's about it. Water is not a good attack plan. Fire might work. 48 old stats pretty much. Pyrokinetic and Geomancer does about 1,000 points of damage on hits. Yeah, that's something you'd have to think twice about how to deal with. Might be a good place to end because this might not be difficult in the same way that the death fog thing is, but at the same time I don't know how the fuck would we kill it. I mean, we're going to kill it naturally. How the hell could I not kill it? It's a fantastic opponent. I just wonder if there's a sort of a tactical means you might be able to employ here. He's not immune to poison, is he? Yes, he is. And water won't work. So anything but is workable at least. We would have to attack something specifically. The problem with physical armor is that I'd have to go close. And even then it'll take turn after turn after turn to screw it up. And its initiative is massive. It'll move first. 37 from wits. So spellcasting is the likeliest option, but that would still be a drastic thing. Yeah, I don't know how to approach this. 20% bonus to damage. Air would be the obvious one. We could have resistances too, so that could put air in large negatives. So there are ways. But this is not something I can wrap up in a moment, no matter what I try.